Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then what's the next date you give? I'm taking
December,
notes. I'm being good.
December 21st, 2012.
Okay. All right. Yeah. The date.
Yeah. And that's the date that
right.
most people know of, because Jose Aguilas was the first one who initiated and brought forth the consciousness about the Maya. I mean, there's 8 million Maya on the planet. They haven't left. They're here. And, they're little teeny people. They're, if they're 5 feet tall, they're tall. Most of them are really tiny people. And they really stay, if they want to continue on with their own practice, they stay undercover, because they've been hunted for hundreds of years and shot down like animals, because the power that be couldn't have them spreading the good news all over the planet, which is there's only love. How could you make money on that?
People who come and give people who come and give the message of love, you know what we do to them, right?
Of course. That's why
we haul them in the public square and execute their asses.
Of course.
Every time.
Of course.
Every time.
Of course. It's like the witches in Salem, Massachusetts in the 1400s, where they stoned or burned alive 10 million people, most of them women. Because if they didn't have a substantial reason for how they knew something, they were deemed a witch, and they were either stoned or burned alive.
Wow.
I was one of them, but they cut my tongue out because they told me to shut up. So here I am back again talking.
Imagine that.
That is so trippy.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
That trips me out.
Well, I do know I've read a lot about how many women were killed, and why is it that women carry the frequency so much easier than men? This was brought up on somebody else's show last night, Truth Brigade, on American Freedom Radio, and it was in the chat room. But why is it that women carry the frequency so much easier than men?
We don't need the debate like men need to debate and be right. That's my take. Men need to be right. And if they're not right, they're going to kill you.
Men also need toys.
Pardon me?
And gadgets. Men also need toys and gadgets.
Oh,
they need something they can hold in their hand. They can't just go with what is instinct.
Yeah, exactly. And they think with their little head, which is between their legs.
Well, there's truth there, yes.
But
there's a lot of truth there.
Yeah, but what's really interesting, Kimberly, is in 2004 when we had the Venus transit, and Venus was closest to the Earth it's been. Well, Ian and I were traveling in Canada. We were in a motorhome, and we figured out the time it would be 10 p.m. And so I had said to Ian that I don't want to be moving when the transit occurs. I want to be stable. So at 10 minutes to 10, he pulled over and parked, and I lied down on our bed, and Ian lied down on the sofa. And I don't know how long I was there, but when I came back in and I said to Ian, I want to share with you my experience, and he said, yes, go ahead. And I told him that what I experienced was as if I were giving birth. It was amazing energy shifting through my body and coming out my yoni as if I were giving birth to Mother Earth. And shortly after that, we had done a talk. And prior to the Venus transit, it would probably be like 90% women, 10% men, sometimes 95% women, 5% men.
Yeah.
After the Venus transit, it was 50-50.
I've noticed that myself.
All right.
When in some of our groups and some of our circles and things that, even there's a church we go and meditate here, and even the church we go and meditate, it's, I believe, a Methodist church, and it's more men than women.
Oh, far out.
I know. That blew me away when I first went in there. Women come and visit and drop in and come once or twice, you know. The men come and stay.
Wow.
I know.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
What a shift is that?
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, there are more men waking up to the reality that how they had been being in their left brain isn't working any longer. And so they're shifting their consciousness to emulate the feminine much more than they had ever done in their lives. And I'm meeting indigo children here where I live, and rainbow children. And, whoa, being with them is like sitting on a cloud and just, oh my God, they're just so present and so aware, and their consciousness, they were born into the consciousness that we're just experiencing in the last 20 years. They were born into that. It's like, oh my God. Whew. Blows me away.
And some of us have to go through the growing pains of the shift.
Yeah,
some of us were not born into it.
That's right.
Are you aware of the growing pains of the shift?
Oh yeah.
That so many people are experiencing?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Being I have, the children that I have, and having my children, 3 of my 4 children are very, very, very conscious. I have these kinds of conversations with my children. That's outrageous. And in fact, my eldest son is here with me. He and I drove from LA a couple days ago back to Arizona where I live, and he just blows me away. So the shift of male-female is so evident, and the men are just so recognizing that the time has come for them to put down their arms and open their arms instead of using their fist. Use a hug.
We've still got a lot of men out there with fists and guns, though.
Oh, of course. I mean, I talked to one guy, and he said, because I said to him, how I see the world working is if there were no weapons on the planet. And he said, how would that work? How could you not have guns? And I knew who I was talking to, and I said, you know what? I don't know, because I wasn't going to get into it with him.
Right.
He was so left-brain thinking that there was no room to contribute to him, which was perfectly fine, because he likes his guns and his rifles, and he likes to shoot things, and God bless him,